And 3, 2, 1, clap.
All right.
Wow, that was way off on my end.
I told you it's like that for me too, but it records well.
Right.
So.
Anyway, so hello and welcome to another fun episode of Action Toon Brothers: The Dark Ages.
Woo!
I am your host, Ben Sturgeon, and with me today is co-host and owner Matthew Lewis.
Roll, let's go.
Okay, not gonna lie, it always makes me laugh having to say that you are the co-host and owner.
Oh, someday, yeah, I'm like one of those producers that inserts myself into all my projects.
Fair. Well then, if you're a new listener, first off, hi, how's it going?
Why are you starting?
Secondly, why are you? Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you starting in the middle of a series? But as I said, this is the Dark Ages, and by that I mean, let's see, I started off with Castlevania. Then my next show was Spawn. So I went from edgy but enjoyable to edgy, not enjoyable, and just downright silly. To now we're doing Metalocalypse, aka dark and edgy and brutal and satirical.
Very, very silly.
So yeah, thanks to Matt over here having to insert, not dark and brooding ones.
Uh-huh.
Jeez, by the way, this is not going to be the next series, but what am I going to choose next? Batman the Animated Series?
Oh, man, that'd be very, very weird to pick.
Yeah, but it would be another dark and brooding one.
Yeah, we'd be very broody. What was it, that one with the Max or whatever, that weird 90s one with the weird Spawn-like character?
Wait, what?
The Max? I think it was a comic. It was another cartoon based on a comic called The Max.
The Max, huh?
I think so, yeah. Not 100%.
I will take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Matt.
Yeah?
It's been a week. It's been one singular week.
I'm about to say, I'm putting these episodes very, very, not frequently, so we can make up whatever timeline we want.
This is true, yeah. But either way, between the last time we recorded this and now, have you even tried to listen to more metal?
Yeah, there's a bunch of some System of a Down I put on my Spotify list. Yeah?
Yeah, hold on. Just a simple yes or no. We'll have conversation topics.
Oh, yes.
While we go through. Yeah, don't spoil everything yet. Don't tell me about the 2 bands you listen to.
Yeah. Well, hey,
that are not Rammstein.
But yeah.
That are not Rammstein, finally.
True.
For those of you, like I said, for those weirdos who are starting on this episode, go watch our first episode of Metalocalypse, and you will find out that Matt is like, yeah, I love metal. Me? So who have you listened to? Rammstein. Who else have you listened to? Rammstein.
That was just my number one band. When we got to the end of the episode, there was a couple other ones that I finally thought of, but that was the most prominent, probably my favorite, most prominent one. But yeah, I haven't listened to them in a minute though. I probably should have seen what they've had in the past 20 years since I listened to them.
I mean, yeah, fair. I mean, let's be honest. They were good for a high school fling, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you never know. They could have had a glow up in the past 20 years. In fact, at least 15 years or so. Whoever the fuck long it's been.
Okay, look. In the past 15, hell, in the past 10 years, there have been far many more German metal bands that have come out that are much better than Rammstein. So.
No doubt.
But anyway, yep, so we're doing 5 episodes of Metalocalypse. Fortunately, they are short episodes. Let's see if this is going to be a short episode because of it.
Who knows?
For newer listeners, that's not really the case. But yeah, so this string of episodes were just silly, to say the least.
Well, that's just the tone of the show in general, isn't it? Just as silly as possible.
Well, yeah, that I just mean these 5 in particular. It's just and when it comes to the storyline and stuff, these certainly are episodes.
Yeah.
But not gonna lie, I still love the show. It's a fucking amazing show. The actual band when they came out with actual songs, amazing. If you like death metal, so
yeah, I was gonna say no spoilers for this little arc we're gonna cover, but not a lot of like not a lot of like the songs listed or performed, but there's a lot of ones that I know that I do recognize from the album that they do mention. It's very like weird. It's like, oh yeah, they did like mention that, but I don't think they sing that much in this. There's like one concert scene maybe.
Yeah, don't worry. There's gonna be plenty.
Yeah.
There's actually 2. If I remember from this string of them, there are only 2 that are actually like performed that are like actually on Death albums.
Yeah.
But there are like little nods, little like everything to other songs, but we'll get to those when we get to those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, either way, let us not, let's not make them wait any further with episode 6 of season 1 of Metalocalypse. Death Film. So
you've got to really you and your damn front porching with the damn episode titles are really throwing me off like always, dude. That's why we're never gonna be on time.
Yeah, trust me. I've just learned to go with it, and on my end, you'll say it when you say it. The joys of not being together. Thank you, remote recording. I couldn't remember that word.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we start off on, I forget what the guy's name is, but it's like a talk show.
It's KQQZ is the network, and it's the Nick Ibsen show.
Yeah, that's a Nick Ibsen show, where we learn from Nick that at this point in the story, Dethklok is officially the 12th largest economic power in the world. Again, a metal band. It is the 12th economic power in the world.
Yeah, and he also mentions how private they are and how they we don't know anything about their personal lives or their history or anything like that.
And of course, Murderface being Murderface is just just being crude as he does, as he also pisses on his boots.
Yeah, he pisses on the interview shoes.
Yeah, right. And then of course Nick is like, well, we're gonna pry into that privacy because we have found your family.
Yeah.
And you see all of Dethklok's family with Nathan doing his fucking death metal. No,
you're gonna pay for this.
He's like, what are you talking about? It's journalistic intrigue. I need to know about all of a sudden, grandma Murderface starts going over. Oh, William, it's been so long. Unplugs one of the fucking somethings. Because it's it could have just ended with that, but this is Metalocalypse, so unplugs a thing, short circuits something. All of a sudden, one of the lights just hangs on down, cuts Nick in his neck. Blood goes everywhere, and on the open outlets starts electrocuting him with his own blood. And so Nathan Explosion has to be like, dude, that would be an awesome song title.
Bloodrocuted.
Which is actually, you never hear it performed, but that is the 4th song on the first Death album.
I was gonna say, that's probably one of my favorite songs on the album, too. It's one I've heard of, one of the most
Bloodrocuted. Yeah, it's a really fucking good one, man.
Bloodrocuted, yeah. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. But then, of course, it goes to the title card.
Yeah, we cut to the evil group once again, and they have an info dump.
The Tribunal, yeah.
Yep, the Tribunal, and they have.
And then, of course,
yep.
Yeah, of course, they're just like, oh, it seems that Dethklok has a family. Here we go. We have Pickle's family from I forget where.
It was like Michigan, I believe he's from. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was somewhere Midwest or something.
Yeah, because I know that in a later episode they show it in a later episode in this little piece too. But yeah, right. Calvin and Molly are his parents, and his brother Seth.
Yep, and Seth is an ex-convict.
Yep.
But then we have fuck. Yeah,
Rose and Oscar's Rose and Oscar Explosion. They are Nathan's mother and father. I didn't get too much about I forgot where they said they were from. It was somewhere else, Midwestern.
And then you have the ex Miss Sweden from Sweden.
Yep, Savetta Squigelf.
Yep, Savetta Squigelf. And then you have I forget. It's like the Reverend Toki's family.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. He talks about Murderfaces before the Tokis, I think.
Oh no. Murderfaces is the last one actually.
Oh okay. It's Anya and the Reverend Wartooth.
Yep, and the Reverend Wartooth, and then you get Murderface's grandparents who actually took care of Murderface after a murder suicide. And we're talking like this is like the average, like, you know, the grandma is in one of those like constant little parts that you get at like
a rascal.
Yeah, that's what it's called, a rascal.
Yeah, they're called a rascal, yes.
Yeah. On a rascal. But the strange thing is grandpa's getting toted around in a fucking wheelbarrow. And even General Crozier's like, what's with the wheelbarrow? And of course the main guy's just like, massive stroke.
Yeah, it's Stella and Thunderbolt Murderface, which is very funny.
Yeah, Stella and Thunderbolt.
His name is Thunderbolt.
See, look. Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I'm like, really? Wouldn't you like to think Thunderbolt Explosion would be better than just you know what though? Thunderbolt Murderface would be actually, yeah. And then of course they're just like the cardinal, the weird religious guy's like, I see son attacking father. I see everything going into darkness. And the strange like ominous man sitting in the chair in every single tribunal meeting is just like, we will watch the darkness unfold.
Yeah, the general pipes in saying that he thinks that reuniting with the family could tear them apart, and that's like their hope. But yeah,
well, at least that's his hope.
Yeah, we cut back to the band chilling out in their rec room, being like, God, I fucking hit my parents. It's so embarrassing. They're like all complaining about them and everything, but we see Toki's.
Yeah, everyone's complaining about them except for Toki. Toki has gone into like a pseudo catatonic state of silence.
Yeah, it's very, very funny.
Like it's kind of funny because like Squiscar's like, ugh, my mom, I hate her. Don't you hate parents, Toki? And every time it goes to Toki, it's just And then everyone's just like, wow, dude, what the hell's going on? And as they're like literally shit talking their family and everything, they're like, dude, we gotta take them to dinner at least. Whoa, where do you guys want to eat? Yeah. And then the camera pans out and they're literally right next to their family.
Right in the room. It's very, very funny gag. The restaurant they go to, it's called Burzum's or something like that.
Yeah, I need to look it up again because I think that's a metal that's a metal reference or something, but it's like Burzum's or something.
Yeah, they're all like sitting around at the restaurant. Yeah.
And by the way, every time they go to this particular restaurant in the series, it is always this particular table, which could seat like 90 people almost. Yeah. But you know, you get like fucking Stella Murderface like, oh, William, your grandpa needs a new wheelchair. I heard they have like the new high-tech bullshit, whatever, fucking 9000. Nathan Explosion's mom is just, you know, just typical mom talk. Savetta Squizgar is hitting on Nathan's dad, and every single time, you know, Savetta like does something, Squizgar looks away and starts like doing his emotional support guitar playing.
Yeah, she's like hitting on Nathan's dad, and like he starts playing his guitar really
fast.
like
holy shit. And I mean, it's funny because like, you know, he's into it, but his mom is like very oblivious to it for some reason.
Yeah.
Toki and his parents it's literally just dead silence while they like the parents like creepily eye look at Toki who's sitting in between them, and Toki's just staring deadpan straight, like 1,000-yard stare. And Seth, Pickles' brother, is like being like, dude, when I was in prison, you know, I learned how to like do this whole record thing, and he's like trying to be like a sleazy salesman pretty much.
And like talking about his,
and like undertone,
parents, but yeah, his parents are more like impressed with what the brother does, and he's all pissed off. He's like sitting there like listening to it. It's very funny.
Yeah. There's something that we're gonna get used to. Pickles' parents being more proud of Seth than Pickles, who is Pickles, who is actually successful.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's gonna be an ongoing thing we'll see many times over.
Yeah.
And as all of this is happening,
Murderface is like, I got pee-pee. And they're like, yeah, me too.
And everyone in the band except for Toki's just like, yep, me too. And then it's kind of like in high school in the 90s when like you see a group of girls go into the bathroom, that way they can just like gossip and talk. Yeah. It's like that, only with the band.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it's just like, you know, even Pickles literally like freaks out about his family and how he hates them to the point where he uses a fucking inhaler for like asthma. Yeah. And he's like, I haven't used one of these in 15 years. And then, you know, Nathan like busts in like, what the fuck? And even Squizgar's like, yeah, thanks a lot, Mom. And, you know, Murderface is like, I don't know. Your mom seems pretty cool. Yeah, she's the most promiscuous woman in Sweden. Yeah, has sex with everyone's. Thanks a lot, Mom. But then of course, it's just like everyone's like upset at their parents. And it's like they even mentioned like Toki hasn't said a single goddamn word since his parents were here.
Yeah,
and Pickles is like, you know what? This is what we do. We're gonna do exactly what we should have done a long time ago. Murderface, being the rational individual. Oh, so we're gonna murder them, right? And he's like, no, we're gonna lie. We're gonna take a mini golf or whatever jackoffs do. We're gonna get your grandpa that fucking motorized wheelchair. We're gonna do everything there, and then once they're out of our hair, we're gonna kick him out, and we'll never talk to him again.
Yep.
And then you get like a fucking like montage.
Yeah.
My favorite line in like possibly all of season 1 comes from this montage, because you see Murderface getting that wheelchair for his grandpa.
Yeah.
It's like the Stephen Hawking's.
Yeah, it's
like the Stephen Hawking's.
You can operate it by blinking. That was the main thing that she mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, as Matt was saying, Stella's like, "Oh, William, you're going to go to heaven for this," and William's response is, "Matt, take it away."
I'd rather die than go to heaven.
I'd rather die than go to heaven, and I'm just like, yes. Thank you, Murderface.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
And then you get more stuff going on. Like they go to a movie, like a sad movie where Savetta is still trying to like get off Nathan's dad, and everyone's like there's like a scene where like Nathan is like doing like a oil massage for his mother, and it's just like and then they go mini golfing, and everyone's at least kind of having a good time, where you see like Pickles' brother is still trying to do that whole hey,
pitching him to like, yeah, I'm just being
really I'm gonna he like pushing his brother to like literally just sign checks and pay him so that he can have a record, and he's just like, I know your PIN number. Yeah, that's not a threat, that's just I know things. I'm just like, yeah, threatening the man who's in the biggest fucking metal band of all time,
of course,
who is points immediately at the very first episode of Metalocalypse at all, who may or may not be a part of a prophecy. No big deal.
Yeah, of course.
And then like one of the scenes, like Murderface watches his grandma eating a hot dog, and we're like talking like for some odd reason, it just like fucking focuses in on
really
her like eating and gross chewing and everything. And Murderface starts choking her to death a little bit. Just a little bit. The band pulls her off, and even he's like, okay, I'm sorry, my fault.
I just locked in on it. I don't know.
I just locked in on
sorry,
it.
Guys, sorry, I don't know what happened. I just locked in. Sorry.
I love that so much. And then of course, it gets to the end where it's like, okay, time for all you to pack up. And Seth is like, hey guys, we're gonna have a family meeting over here in the recording room. He's like, yep, I got y'all together, and we're gonna do a family album. Let's go. And Pickles is like, dude, no, you guys gotta go. We can't. And Seth is really just laying it on thick about like the you owe me kind of thing and all that stuff. Until Pickles finally snaps.
You got inspiration. I'm kind of the reason you're doing this. It's kind of you're kind of copying me. He's just being like a real shithead.
Yeah, right. Yeah, being a real shithead, which is another ongoing thing with him. And then Pickles starts strangling him, like, dude, no, like, I don't owe you anything. And like the whole band is like, dude, we're the most brutal thing to ever happen. What do any of you know about being brutal? And then we get, of all the people in the family to talk, we get Stella Murderface pepper spraying Nathan and Pickles and like even Murderface.
Yeah.
And she's like, have you tried?
No, yeah. Like this line is like been stuck in my head for like years from the show. It's just very funny because it was in promos and stuff way back like years ago. And she's like, let me tell you, billionaire lowlife, something. There's nothing more brutal than raising children. And it's just like,
and yeah,
very,
and like,
very funny line.
With that right there, you just hear all of the family like going off,
complaining about how shitty their kids are, and how shitty raising kids.
Nathan's mom is like, that's like, you ruined my vagina. Savetta's just like, I had to carry so much weight in birthing you. Now my body, and it's obviously edited. It's like, my body looks like a map of Stockholm.
Yeah, it's just very, very funny.
Nathan's dad is just like, dude, I used to be able to just leave the house and drink beer and stuff, but then we had you. I had to spend my beer money on diapers and things.
Yeah.
That's brutal. And even like Stella's like, have you ever tried cleaning the diapers of this guy? Points at Murderface. And literally all of the band just has wide-eyed like, oh shit faces. And then they all start doing like the final song, which is not on any recording whatsoever, any
really
album whatsoever. It's just the family like literally screaming while you hear like a Stephen Hawking's kind of like computer from the grandpa talking about how he's like, I need to die. I've literally been in this state for
like,
30 years. I haven't had an erection in 20 years. Please kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me. And and then that's where, you know,
the episode ends.
The episode ends. It's just, you know, now, for those of you who are brand new to this and decided to for some reason start with this episode of all episodes, that's a typical way that Metalocalypse ends.
Yeah, just as on a weird gag and just smash cut to it being over. Will
now,
the characters come back? Who knows? You never know.
Now, Matt.
Yeah.
Here's the question of the day. It's actually going to be a question of the episode, and it's actually going to be it's on par with what the episode was, but it's going to be not what you think about.
Mm-hmm.
So, when it comes to your family,
yeah,
who is by far like your favorite family members to like hang out with or talk to or like get in touch with?
Boo. Well, I'll say obviously I live with one of my sisters, my sister closest to me in age, Calvina, and we have like exact same interests, and it's very fucking cool living with her. But I was gonna say, besides the obvious choice, one of my cousins, Risha, she lives in New York. She's on my mom's side of the family. She's also like a massive like anime and cartoons and like manga and gaming fan, and we used to hang out with her all the time in New York. She was a couple years older than us, and so we used to, like, whenever we were kids growing up and stuff, she would always be like, you know, talking about shows and cartoons and stuff like that. I think she's a nurse now. I'm not really 100% sure what her job is, but her and her kid, like, they still like go to cons and conventions in New York and stuff all the time. And whenever we go there, which is fairly often, we try to like hook up and hang out with her, and it's very fucking cool. Yeah, she's fucking great.
Nice.
What about you?
For me, growing up, it was my grandpa and my step grandma Cheryl on my mom's side, because they are the ones, like, I kid you not, they had like just about at the time every single game system known to mankind except for that shitty, you know, Xbox series, whatever. And by the way, for those of you listening in, I always shit talk Xbox. Like, I have no grief with it. I just shit talk it because I know Matt likes it. But like, and they kind of like, with all the games that I've played today, like, they were kind of the start of like my path down to video games. And today it's actually every Saturday I do a Discord call with my oldest brother who lives in North Carolina, and we just play games. We try to play multiplayer games. Sometimes he'll play a game. Sometimes we just talk D&D. Sometimes we talk metal. He was the one who actually got me into metal. And it's literally for years now. It's just become a trend where every Saturday night from 11 o'clock to like fucking 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It'll just be us hanging out, playing video games, because it's the only time, because sometimes, you know, life happens and we just can't do that.
Of course,
we can't do that sometimes. So, you know, it's just, that's the one day we can do it. And yeah, sometimes we can't do it because something comes up. But yeah, it's just, that's my favorite family member of all time.
Nice, yeah.
And, but now we're going to cut away from family because we're done with family for now.
For now.
And
we'll see
we
if
are
when
going
these characters
to be
come
going...
back.
Oh, yeah. Something I don't know. They may not. But speaking of characters and meeting them for the first time, we have episode 7 of season 1 to go through. Performance Clock. We start out in Mancharis. I don't know how to say that word.
It's Jordan.
In Jordan. Yeah, it's in Jordan. Where Dethklok's performing, but as they're performing, one of the band members unplugs Squizgar's like fucking guitar.
Yeah.
And then they all literally start beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, Squizgar bumps into Murderface, and Murderface knocks him into Toki's or Pickles' drum set, and they all just start like fighting. It's really silly.
And it just like goes all off the rails, unhinged, where like someone throws a fucking cymbal and it just goes in someone's one of the fans' neck.
Random audience
and everyone like everyone in the audience goes silent. But then the guy puts up the fucking horns, and everyone just starts cheering. And then you find out that, like, after that whole thing, you see a newspaper clipping of one of the fight scenes, and it says that Jordan is suing Dethklok $12 million. It was
12. It was 16 million in damages. Was the
16 million in damages. And Nathan's like, okay, guys, look, we're allowed to hate each other, like, off the stage, you know? We're allowed to hate each other any single time. But when it's on the stage, we gotta not do it. It's getting too expensive. And then Squizgar's looking out in the lawn, and you just see, like, some wolves. And he's like, it looks like the yard wolves have grown. Is our long, cold winter over now? And then Charles, the CFO or the manager walks in. He's like, okay, guys, I've been like trying to dig into this whole thing, and every single time I think about it, all I can think about is band therapy.
Yeah.
And then enter title card, but then we go back to the tribunal, who's like, it looks like the Dethklok needs to get band therapy. And of course, General Crozier's like, we have a guy who's looking into them. Dr. Twinkletits.
Yeah, Twinkletits.
And by the way,
it took me like at least two viewings to realize what his name was. It's very funny.
Yeah, like they say his name is Dr. Twinkletits, but when you see it spelled out, it looks like Twinkletits.
Yes, Twinkletits.
And the only thing I could think of when I saw that was Brendan Small, aka the creator. Brendan, you fucking mad lad.
Yeah, I think he also voices him too.
But yeah, anyway,
Jordan's at war because of the band's fighting, and it could erupt in like even more huge war if the band were to break up because of this. But they're saying,
apparently the whole world would be in cataclysm because there's riots in Jordan from all of this and everything. So like, Dethklok disbanded, like the world would go to shit.
And we also see that Dr. John Twinkletits is the therapist, but also in a former band called the Amazlingtons.
Yep, the Amazlingtons, and he left for unknown reasons, and he's also known as the most extreme therapist in all like music kind.
Yeah,
and then you just hear him.
I fucking love Twinkletits. It's Brandon Smalls, definitely. Dude, it's very funny.
His voice is just hilarious. But yeah, you know, he's like, you see him like sitting in his office with the band, who's all like beaten and bruised, and he's just like, you gotta, you know, you're like a bunch of jungle monkeys, like, you know, just going all ham and stuff.
Yeah, you're hurting each other. You're hurting each other's feelings. And so he's going back and forth in his chair, and he's clicking his pen over and over again, and just kind of like watching him like confused. It's very, very
right.
Funny
Well,
scene.
and the band's just like the band is like, you know, making fun of him, like, dude, this is like a horrible thing.
It was Squizgar says like
Squizgar,
he says like, hey, you know, I was in a band, so I know what it's like. And Squizgar's like, oh yeah, what were you in the worst bands in the world? And then he slaps him in the face.
Yeah, gets fucking slapped. He's like, you know why you're doing all this? It's because you're weak. See, I was in a band, and I know what it's going through, and I'm in charge of you now. So you're gonna do exactly what I say. You got that? Good. Then let's begin. Squizgar's like, you slapped me in face. No, I didn't.
It
and then of course, yeah, and then in one of the practices, he's like, just ignore me. Just pretend I'm not here. Pickles is like, dude, I've been doing that from the beginning. It's like, well, that's not gonna be difficult for you then. Smart ass raises his hand, and Pickles is like, dude, no hitting.
No hitting.
Yeah, dude, no hitting.
Toki's like, Toki starts Toki in the booth playing the bass, and he's really shitty. But also, this is the first time we hear Nathan referred to as Tonto, which is going to be a reoccurring thing.
Right, yeah, because he's like, we don't let anyone in here, and yeah, the first time ever mentioned of relax, Tonto. And by the way, how dare you? Toki does not play the bass. He plays guitar.
Yeah. Second guitar.
God, come on, Matt.
I fucked up.
You've watched this show how many times?
Not enough.
It's not been. Yeah, it's not been. It's not been a lot actually. But anyway, so Toki's like practicing a certain part, and you're again, keeps practicing and breaks a string, and even Squizgar's like, dude, just let me plays the part. I mean, he's learning how to unplay guitar, and Twinkle Edits is like, is this all you guys do? Do you just like just beat up on poor Toki, like making him feel all like insecure and everything? Okay, let's do an exercise. And then all of a sudden you see Toki with a microphone. It's like, okay, Toki, you're the lead singer. And Toki's like, no thanks. And he's like, no, you're gonna be the lead singer. Now you just sing whatever comes to mind. Ready and go. And Toki sucks.
Yeah, he's like, he's like mumbling, saying nonsense, just not saying actual lyrics of the songs.
But I think it's actually hilarious that even Toki was like, dude, I don't want to be the lead singer, thank you.
Yeah.
But he just, and then all of a sudden, as they're watching, after practice and everything, as they're like watching a video about some kind of cataract surgery.
Yeah, it's like an eye surgery video they're watching. Twinklettis comes in and he's like, wristbands and like eye makeup on.
Yeah, right. And he's just like, all right, band meeting. He's like, and Nathan's like, you can't just call band meetings. He's like, yes, I am. I'm part of the band. For Toki's wonderful, doing a wonderful job today, he is going to he pulls a key out and he unlocks the belt buckle, which is like, precariously placed on his junk. And he opens up a lock and he pulls out the mysterious yet ever so glorious banana stickers. Yep. He gives Toki a banana sticker, and Murderface is like, I want a banana sticker, don't I get one? No, you do not. Not until you prove yourself. Murderface gets pissed off. And then you just see Twinkle Edits and him just like, hey, what happened back there? I don't want to talk about it. Oh, well, I mean, let's rock talk. Come on. Tell me about little baby Murderface. And Murderface is like, I don't want to go back to the past. Well, looks like these banana stickers literally
like a funny thing. He's like, putting his junk in his face with a banana sticker pouch.
He's like, all right, I'll rock talk. And literally all we get, because in the previous episode we mentioned that apparently there was a murder-suicide with his family.
Yeah.
So you just see baby Murderface sitting in a high chair, just eating, being the baby. And you just hear a chainsaw revving, and you see a man run across the screen. You hear a woman screaming. He's like, how dare you? I'll kill you.
Very ridiculous.
Now I'll kill myself. First the left leg, then the right leg. And he goes like to all of his limbs.
And then his face is really... It's so silly. Yeah. The whole time we're focusing on little baby Murderface playing with like his food. It's a very ridiculous scene.
Like, and then you just see Murderface sitting there. You see he pissed himself.
Yeah.
Gets a fucking banana sticker. Yeah. That was a good rock talk. And then it just goes through a montage with another song that has not actually been released, not even in the extended first album, Death album. I don't even know what the title of it is called, but it's like talking about how like everyone's a monkey pretty much. Yeah. And and it's just like, everyone's getting along, doing different things, getting banana stickers, wearing fucking polo shirts.
Yeah, like pale like sweaters and polo shirts and like dressing really like weird and nice. It's very funny. Getting their hair.
And then and then after all that montage and everything, we get Twinkle Edits calling his previous band. He's like, oh, hey, guys. How's it going with the Amazlingtons? Oh, me? I'm part of this band called Dethklok. I'm sure you haven't heard of them. But yeah, so, I've been doing a lot better since, I left you. Oh, wait, that's right. I killed you all. And you see the other side of the line. You see all the band members just standing,
just skeletons,
in place,
standing with their equipment. But the significant thing is that they have one of his pens he saw is clicking in one of their eye sockets.
Yep. Yep. He's just like, I murdered you. And Toki heard this.
Yeah, we see him peeking through the door.
All four of them. and all five of them are standing in the bathroom like, this guy's crazy. And Nathan's like, dude, I mean, is there something we can do? Can we fire him or something. And Pickles is like, dude, yeah, I looked it up. We can actually fire him.
He's an employee. Like, we get fired. I'm like, oh, we give ourselves raises? Like, yeah, we can give ourselves raises. I give myself a raise. Yeah, right. And it's just like, wait, guy. And I think it's like Toki or Squizgar's like, guys, wait. If we do this, we won't get any banana stickers. And every one of them looks devastated they're like,
at this. And then Twinkletit's is like it just goes to like the band. The next scene where it's like in front of the window where the Yard Wolves was in that like room, and they're all staring in the same direction as where Twinkletit's is walking in. He's like, "We're going on tour," and Nathan's like, "No, actually, we're not going to. And by the way, you suck. We all talked about it. You're fired." He's like, "Wait, I'm sorry?" He's like, "Yeah, ever since you came in here, everything has been, like, really less brutal and everything." And Twinkletit's is like, "Don't you want a banana sticker?" And then another one of my favorite lines ever. He's like, "We won't be needing your banana stickers." Murderface kicks open, like, a treasure chest, and there's, like, a whole shit ton of banana stickers. And Nathan, I directly quote, "We found out you can just, buy psychological validation." Like, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, the sad thing about that, Nathan, is you're
it's very, very true.
Kind of correct, actually. And of course, Twinkletit's gets pissed off. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you." Goes in to stab him in the eye, but trips over a banana.
Not trips, he slips.
Yeah, you're right. He slips on a banana sticker, and it even does like the cartoon whoop.
Yeah.
And he falls out of the fucking window. He's like, "Oh God, I still am alive. I'm still up."
Several flights and still survive somehow. It's very stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, Oh God, I'm still alive. He sees two ravenous wolves, like, oh, and then you just hear him getting like mauled and eaten, and the bandmates are just like, "Yes, the wolves are eaten now, and they will strengthen the next generation." And then like Nathan's like recording all this. "I loved him. I think I can actually say that now," and Toki's like, Pickles is like, "Hey
Pickles.
Guys." I don't know about you guys, but watching this guy get eaten by wolves, it's kind of strangely making me hungry. All of a sudden, all of their eyes glow red, and it's just like, "Let's eat." And, you just see, like, and throughout the entire, like, end credits thing, ultimately, you see Twinkletit's is still somehow alive.
Yeah, he just
armless.
Lost both of his arms, yeah.
And the wolves are like, like one of them like looks at the camera wearing his glasses and everything.
Yeah.
And that's the end of episode 7.
Performance clock.
And performance clock. Just whew. Okay. That certainly
was a very, very funny episode. I love the It was yeah.
But yeah, just honestly, there really wasn't like a sidebar question I had, because I mean, I did think about like, hey, therapy question, but I'm like, no, that's fucking stupid. No, why would I do that? But yeah, it's just like, oh my God, just I think the thing that killed me, the thing that killed me the most was the fucking slipping on a banana sticker.
Yeah, that was very, very funny.
God damn.
Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of like the stickers and validation, you do like when like you were in like elementary school and stuff. Did they have that kind of like sticker system of like, if you do shit correctly, you get a little thing on your name and whatever?
Dude.
Yeah.
My elementary was very rudimentary when it came to that, because we had the typical gold stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you have like a gold star system or a sticker system?
I think so, yeah. I barely remember it. Only thing I remember is like finding out that I was left-handed from that, because like I kept fucking up writing everything with my right hand, and Nerd's like, "Wait a minute, try the other one." It's like, it's like a mind. That's the only thing I remember from like elementary school.
No, even better. Even better, you try writing with your right hand. Okay, wait. Try writing with your left hand. You start writing, yep, it's official. You just suck at writing.
Yeah, you're just very, very bad. And then I said, I'll show you, teacher. I'm going to be a published author one day.
and we'll get to that in the shameless plugs. But
of course,
everyone who knows Matthew Lewis podcast, and look what you've done.
Yeah, I was gonna say also, in terms of like all the side characters, like all the Dick Nubbler and everybody, Twinklehead is one of my favorites, and I like spoilers. I'm very glad that he does come back because he's a very silly character. like,
oh, dude, it's no mystery he comes back. I mean, they literally showed him still alive, just armless.
Yeah, he's a very fucking silly. So
he's gonna. Honestly, when it comes to recurring characters as of right now, there are two that are my all-time favorite. One of them, I'll only list one of them, and that's fucking Dick Nubbler.
Well, between Dick Nubbler, Twinklehead, and there's another one that we've seen pop up during Murderface's birthday that we have not seen come back yet.
Yeah, but don't worry. If you don't know what we're talking about, then don't worry about it. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
The best recurring character ever. Like the best recurring character ever. So we'll get there when we get there. But speaking of characters and just things with this metal band.
I was going to say, in terms of segues, Twinklehead the Amazlington, speaking of other bands.
There we go. See, I knew I had a segue somewhere.
Yeah, you're good.
This is going to be something that, a lot of bands probably have dealt with, but we are going into episode 8 of season 1, Snakes and Barrels.
I'll say this is probably one of my favorite episodes of the series.
I can see that. We start off with this this fucking TV show that is
it's a VH1 behind the music kind of show. Yeah,
sort of like that. I forget what it's actually called though in this show, but it's something like that. Talking about a band called Snakes and Barrels, who was founded by current drummer of Dethklok, Pickles. And Yep, Pickles the drummer, who now back in the day he had a band beforehand, which was Snakes and Barrels. And you get an interview with a guy who's like, I sold guitars and he wanted this one instead of that, and it's just just talks about how they were super successful, but then drugs and alcohol got between them, and just something about Harry got injected heroin in his balls again, or some bullshit like that, and then it zooms out, you just see as they're talking about all this, you just see actual Pickles walk up and press the pedal to turn off the TV.
Yeah, he turns it off and hey, Dethklok we see is watching the show, and they're like, hey, we wanted to see what happens next. Like, what do you mean what happened next? I'm here. I'm with you guys now. That's the next thing. I'm here. I'm part of Dethklok, and they're all making fun of Snakes and Barrels. I think. Actually, I know it sounds silly and tame, but I think my favorite diss comes from Toki, where he's just Pickle, I gotta tell you, the Snakes and Barrels is not my cup of tea. I'm I don't know why that's the one that's funny to me. Yeah, it's very
everyone's being dude, fuck that band. They look like they're a bunch of pansies and stuff. And just Toki just being dude, it's not my thing. It's the funniest thing. He's guys, look, that's over. That's done with. I'm in Dethklok now. I won't ever have to worry about him again. Their manager, Charles, is just hey, Pickles, can you come into my office for a second?
Yeah.
And then when you see him, in the office, Charles is so Snakes and Barrels wants to do a reunion tour. He doesn't even finish, and Pickles is I'm in.
Yeah, he's I'm in. He says the album sales have been huge because of the music special, and they do want to do a reunion tour. He's yes, please.
Yep. And then, of course, title card.
Yep.
And
the tribunal we see again talking about how they go over the band, saying alone they are weak, but together they can be powerful. We can split them up by getting him reunited with his old band. And this is when we meet the old band, Snakes and Barrels.
I'll let you take over that one.
All right. First, we have Antonio Tony DeMarco Thunderbottom. He is now currently sober. I didn't write down all the funny drug uses because that would have been too much to write down, but I was doing these notes quick.
Dude, I got you.
Yeah, we have Sammy Candy Nose Twinskins, also sober now. And then my favorite name of all, Snizzy Snaz Bullets.
Snizzy Snaz Bullets, who, by the way, is also sober.
Yeah, they're all sober.
And of course, the tribunal's yes. And also maybe we can get Pickles to we can like try to ruin Pickles by giving him like feeding him his desire, you know, giving him drugs. So here to talk about his new, like a drug to give him is Dr. Raymond Chesterfield,
the military hallucinogenics expert.
Yep. And of course he's like, I've been working in my lab and I've come up with a drug known as, and I quote, totally awesome sweet Alabama liquid snake. Just wow. This is me sitting here like, okay, what the fuck ever. Yeah, we'll go with it. And
I fucking love that name.
This is like a super highly hallucinogenic thing that is so potent and so powerful that whoever takes it, they will literally have their brain wiped completely.
Yeah. They'll do this and it can destroy the band, is what their plan is.
Yep. And then, of course, you know, the tribunal's like, yes, this is perfect. We can pretty much rewire Pickles' brain. And then we go to, like, the outback, the backyard of fucking Mordhouse, where, like, the band's like, dude, what if Pickles leaves, like, forever? Dude, and Nathan's like, wait, what if you guys want to do, like, reunion bands? Yeah, Toki, what about you? And Toki's like, well, I can't because this is my first band. Oh, well, maybe you'll want to do a reunion band with us. And then Squiscar's like, nah, actually, we're still together, so we can't actually have a reunion band. He's like, well, can we like have a not reunion band together? No, actually, I looked that up too. And and by the way, I did write all of this down. Yeah, and of course, Toki's like. Yeah, Toki's like, Squiscar, what bands have you been in? And yes, I made sure to pause and write down every single one of these. So Squiscar, apparently before Dethklok, he hasn't been in the following bands. He's been in. By the way, I looked all of these up, and none of these actually exist.
Of course.
He's been in Agnostic Priest, Gangorgar, Aldilio, Al-El, Gognog Mug, Aldug, Fuckface Academy, Sausage Assassin, Financially... Fuck it, I'm gonna say the word. Sorry, guys, if you don't like the word. Financially Raped, Smugly Dismissed, and pretty much every band.
Yeah, very ridiculous. And also, he first mentioned, but while they're outside talking about being upset that he's not there, Murderface is carving Planet Piss into a tree, which is his side band.
Yep, his side band that we've still heard nothing about. And then, of course, after they were talking about all this, we actually go to a garage where Snakes and Barrels is reunited.
Yeah, where they all started.
Pickle starts off with, okay, I know every single one of you is sober now, so I will do everything I can to make sure I, take drugs and drink alcohol, not in your view.
Yeah, behind closed doors.
Let's start off with Water Horsey Blues. And they all suck.
Yeah, they're playing absolutely terribly.
Yeah, Tony, why can't I hear anything coming from your amp? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to cut back on electric, so I'm not actually using it. Dude, I'm literally in Dethklok. I'll fucking, reimburse you or something.
He's like, you got a deal.
And it's like,
Sammy,
one of the...
Twin Skins.
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah, he's like, dude, what is that?
No. He's Sammy's the one who has his who's sitting in front. Like he's like, I can't hear the drums. He's like, you're sitting outside of your drum set right now. He's like, what? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like
Snizzy Snaz is like, what's that thing you're wearing?
What are you fucking wearing? Yeah, what was it? Did he call it?
It's a girdle-atar. It's a girdle for your guitar.
And then of course, Pickles is like, look, we've got a short time before this reunion tour starts, and by God, we gotta make this really good. And so you actually see a montage of them actually trying to do good and be a good metal, not really a metal band. It's like a rock band, really. It's kind of reminiscent of fucking Guns N' Roses, kind of.
Yeah, it's a very 80s hair band style.
Yeah. So, it shows a montage of them doing things, and every once in a while, fucking Pickles is just getting drunk and doing drugs. And then we finally get to, after the montage, we get to them, just backstage before the concert. all of Dethklok is fucking drunk except for fucking Pickles. Hey, Pickles, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine. I gotta get ready for my concert. Just do a good job. And okay, guys, you're acting very strange. We just don't want you to forget where we. Oh, okay. I see where this is going. Yeah, well, you do good. Your music sucks, and you're an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm not really good at emotion. Guys, I told you I'm not leaving the band. By the way, where is my band anyway? And you see fucking Dr. Chesterfield with just a fucking beard, a fake beard on. Hey guys, do you want to totally have some of this totally awesome sweet Alabama liquid snake? It'll have you tripping balls so damn hard. Like, oh my god.
Your mind will go out of space in a totally awesome adventure. And they're like,
Matt, have you watched on Amazon Prime? Have you watched Hazbin Hotel at all?
Not yet, but it's on my list. It's been on my list forever.
Fucking goddamn it. I can't make... You know what? I don't care. I can make this.
Yeah, make it for the listeners. I'm sure they've watched it.
Yeah. He sounds like a drug dealer if the drug dealer was fucking Serpentious. Hey, you could have this totally cool drug that is totally amazing. I'm like, dude, this is obviously a trap. And so the band's about to actually start. He's like, guys, where have you been? We got to go. Yeah, we were getting this right here, this totally awesome sweet Alabama liquid snake. Guys, I don't know about having drugs. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. And they all drink it.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually kind of disappointed in this. It could have been a sidebar song that they put on the Death Album 1.
Yeah, see, not that many songs on this part.
Or they could have actually, like, Brendan could have actually made, like, kind of like with Dethklok, he could have made, like, a one-album thing that was fucking Snakes and Barrels. Mm-hmm. Or maybe even 2 albums, I don't know. But they actually start performing Water Horsey Blues, and not gonna lie, kind of sounds pretty all right.
Yeah, it's like a very
I remember
cool
like
sound. Not metal.
Yeah, I was like, and it also shows because in a lot of the songs in the Death Album, there are some where Pickles actually sings as well, and this is like the first episode where Pickles actually sings, and it actually proves, oh my god, this guy can sing. And so they're performing, and actually, I'll talk about a certain thing afterwards. But as they're performing Water Horsey Blues, there's a lot that goes on. Like they see like weird dead babies. They see like
a giant rabbit
tripping out, like giant rabbit, like snakes and shit. And it goes to literal hell. Like giant rabbit that like eats the shit out of them. All the dead babies like turn into like demon babies, and just every one of them, except for one, like, actually goes fucking god, like, oh, fuck, it's a bad trip. And then you hear on the news, it's like, well, Snakes and Barrels had to cancel their reunion tour because apparently they all took drugs. And every single band member has pretty much had their mind completely wiped. Yeah. Except for Pickles, the drummer. And Pickles like, yeah, dude, I've been smoking government weed since I was, like, 5.
Yeah.
I'm just like...
Kitty glaucoma.
Kitty glaucoma. I'm just like, oh, that's what did it. Government weed. That would do it. And all the band members are like, hey, you know what? I was wrong. We were wrong. Dude, Snakes and Barrels is amazing. Dude, play that live album again.
Yeah.
And it's literally just all of them like screaming like, I can't feel my face. Oh, my eyes and everything. And the weirdest one that Tony does, I believe I'm a chicken. I believe I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken. Yeah. And like the last scene you see is like his head on a chicken body. I believe I'm a chicken.
It's so silly.
And that is, that's where it fucking ends.
Very, very funny, goofy ass episode.
Oh my god. But now, Matt,
yeah,
and listeners who have actually seen this show, for those of you who are big Dethklok fans like me, you might notice there's a little cameo of a song that's on the Death album in this episode. So every time they talk about sweet Alabama, fucking goddamn it, totally awesome sweet Alabama liquid snake. Sorry, every time they talk about that drug, you hear like a certain like melodic theme going on in the background. That's actually the first of what Dethklok calls of the Viking trilogy songs on the Death Album 1 called Better Metal Snake.
Oh, Better Metal Snake.
Yeah, yeah, right, because
totally
it's the beginning. Yeah, it's the beginning part. The
oh yeah,
it's like the beginning part. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, so that's where Better Metal Snake is. But yeah. And it's just like, oh yeah, and like that's the only cameo, kind of like with Electrocuted, how it got like mentioned.
Yeah.
This one, it was just like a little bit of music that's like, oh, and then you listen to the Death Album and you hear that and you're like, wait a minute, this was in the what is this kind of thing? Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's cool. I love that song, and also I love, like I said, I love this episode. You know, I'm a huge fan of fake drugs and stuff. It's always very fun.
hey, Matt.
Yeah.
2 words, okay? None of the listeners are ever gonna understand what the fuck I'm saying, okay? But I'm gonna tell you 2 things, okay? How I know that sentence you said is the worst kept secret ever. Schneef and Booze River.
Yeah, Booze River.
But yeah, fucking Schneef and Booze River. For out of context, old Pathfinder campaign. He was what was it? A bullymong? He was a frog. He was a little frog.
A bullywug, but
yeah, because the Booze River and Schneef was fucking Ludope.
No, not Ludope. It was his son, Doink.
Oh yeah, no, right, Doink.
And Doink's technically a Grepply.
Either way, he's a tiny frog man. He and one of the skeletons in our party would always Doink was always about like doing Schneef, which is like our world's version of cocaine, and there was a time when they saved a village, and he and the skeleton wanted a goddamn river made of booze.
Hell yeah! I was gonna say, like, in terms of fake drug things, like, what is it? There's Crystal Dream from fucking, like, what was it, 90210 or whatever the fuck it was called, and there's like what was it? There's a bunch of what was it, Nuke in RoboCop, and you remember the slow-mo one from the second Dredd movie?
No, I actually have not watched any.
Oh my god, it's so good. In Minority Report, there was Noroyoin or whatever the fuck it was called. Oh, slow-mo.
Yeah,
it was called slow-mo. Yeah, in Dredd, it was called slow-mo.
Right. Yeah, it's just like you know, just fill in the blank. Any of that. But yeah, it's just like, all right, but yeah, question of the day, Matt. Mm-hmm. Is there any example that you can think of any like band where where 2 different bands have like an actual like member who went from one to the other?
I was gonna say, in terms of like, I know Eminem was in D12 for a while. Technically, he's a member of D12. Really? Yeah, he was in D12, and he does a bunch of stuff with them. I was gonna say, what's it called? From System of a Down was the Scars on Broadway is the lead singer's side band.
Something like that, yeah.
System of a Down, yeah. Side bands are very, yeah. There's like back in the 80s and 90s and shit, it happened a lot more than it does now. I know for the most part, because most people don't group up that much, and there's not too many like bands like that. I was gonna say, growing up, my sister obsessed with NSYNC, and then Justin had a huge solo career, working with like Timberland and stuff like that.
My favorite ones that I like pointing out. That some people, I mean, a lot of people know this by now, but the original singer of fucking Black Sabbath was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And after Black Sabbath, just like Justin, after Black Sabbath, Ozzy had his own solo career, and look what he did now. There used to be an entire fucking festival that is like dedicated to Ozzy. You know, Ozfest.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, does not exist anymore, and I'm sure he's retired.
He's like pushing 70 or 80 now. I'm surprised he could probably. Yeah, he would definitely.
Well, I mean, he did like a year or 2 ago. He did come out with another album.
Nice. Well, it's just like, what's it called? Ian McKellen's, or was it not Ian McKellen? The other one, Saruman's actor, Count Dooku. What was his? He has a metal
Sir
band.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. Yeah, freaking he had a metal band.
One. Yeah, he does. He actually does. And I want to actually delve into that one a little bit. But I mean, like, I haven't listened
of Fire
to it yet.
and Manowar. He has 2 bands. I know they are metal too.
Wait. Say that again?
Rhapsody of Fire and Manowar.
Christopher Lee was in Manowar?
Yeah.
I think I'll have to look that one up.
Because,
yeah. Either way, yeah, dude. Sir Christopher Lee, when he was in his 80s, mind you, was in metal bands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was an old man, and he was in metal bands.
We both have research to do.
Yeah, just holy fuck, dude. It's fantastic. If you haven't, just look up Christopher Lee metal bands. You'll find out. Just dig from there, my dudes.
Mm-hmm.
But then, we have we just talked about Metalocalypse and reunion bands and stuff like that, just like going back to old bands and stuff. But you know what we've not really touched on in depth with Metalocalypse? We've not actually touched up on what Dethklok truly thinks about their fans.
True.
Well, if you were wondering about that, this episode 9 of Season 1 will answer that for you. Episode 9 of Season 1, Mordland. 1, 2, 3, clap!
All right.
So we start off with a very dark room with just one tiny little alarm clock. Just beep, beep, beep. And all of a sudden you hear Pickles like, dude, no, I hate this stupid alarm. As he's rolling around in the dark, you hear a bunch of fucking empty cans as he's rolling through. Yes. He finally turns off the alarm and he's like, oh, God. Turns on the light and you see a whole bunch of fucking randos standing in his room. Holy shit! Pickles wakes up like everyone else.
What the hell is
Pickles is like,
here?
Yeah, what the hell is that? Oh, right. God, I hate Fan Day. And then we just immediately go into the title card. And I should probably get my notes out, shouldn't I? Ha 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 ha. Because I think we start off with the Tribunal.
Yeah, the Tribunal's talking about the first time fans have been allowed inside of Mordhouse. It's an insane day of celebration for regular jackoffs. They describe it as.
Yep, and of course it's and it's funny because it's the Tribunal's Dethklok is really going high on the popularity, and they're growing super fast.
Yeah, but the only way they have information is by monitoring fans. Is the only way they can get their information.
Yeah, yes. They monitor fan websites, and that's how they get their information. The biggest one being diefordethklok.com, ran by Eric and Edgar Jomfru.
The Jomfru brothers.
Yep. And of course, General Crozier's we can interrogate them after they're done going through here to see what's going on in Mordhouse. Yep. And then, of course, we get another reoccurring character appearance.
Yeah,
we get Face Bones.
We love your Face Bones.
Yep, we love you, Face Bones. And he's talking about hey, there's a lot of do's and don'ts when you're going through here. Because our snipers have 50 caliber 50 caliber chambers rifles that can shoot you, that can kill a man from up to 3 miles away. And by the way, no recording devices, and also deadly force is allowed. So don't go into the and make sure that bathroom breaks or don't go into the. Enjoy your time here at Mordhouse.
And also, does it mention here that they're going to have a special song?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. A singular once ever, once a lifetime song. That is and everyone's yeah, fan song. And that's actually when he's so no recording devices or your life will be terminated.
Yeah, and we see the close-up on the Jomfru brothers and the audience kind of smirking at each other because they have some kind of plan.
Yep, they have a weird thing going on. But then we go back into the fucking dining room where all of Dethklok except for Squiscar.
Drinking.
Oh fuck! I hate Fan Day so much. Why do I drink before Fan Day? And Murderface is I believe you drink because of Fan Day.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, where's Squizgar at? And Toki's like, oh, he's still in bed. He had a real big night with a real big fan.
Yeah.
And Pickles is like, dude, can you like shut the hell up, please? And of course, Toki's like, oh, you just need food. You're named Pickle, so have pickle herring sandwich. And of course, like every rational person, he's about to throw up, goes to run to the bathroom, but there's too many fans. I can't throw up in my own house. Wait, oh man, you're gonna start one of those chain reaction puke fests.
Yeah, puke.
All four of them. Yeah, all four of them start vomiting, except for Nathan, because Nathan vomits blood.
Yeah, pure blood.
And of course,
like, that's not good.
Toki's just like, oh, puke blood. Someone write that name for a song. Oh, yeah, we already have a song like that. Good song, though. Which, by the way, that is absolutely not a song on any of the Death albums.
I was going to say, maybe it's beforehand.
There are some songs that they mention that I'm sitting here, I'm like, where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is that song?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, and Nathan's like,
I
think I need a liver transplant. Another liver transplant. So,
you see them all doing their own things in the various houses. What they do, they see Toki's putting a model airplane together. He's trying to do it,
but fucking Pickles is just like trying to use the bathroom and stuff, but he tries to clean himself up in his bathroom, but his toilet clogs. Squizgar is literally like naked on his bed, just fucking practicing his fucking like guitar.
Yeah, while fans are
like
watching.
There's like a really, really big lady like in his bed.
He's like sitting naked. We were at Toki's putting his model airplane together, but then he accidentally, like, one of the fans watching them sneezes, and he gets glue in his face. He tries to wipe it off.
And then he tries to wipe it off, but then he accidentally sticks his face on the fucking wall.
Yeah, his hands and face to the wall, and he's stuck there, and the fans just continue to stare at him while he's stuck.
And then we actually see fucking Nathan getting another liver transplant, but it like kind of goes to shit a little bit.
He's like, hey, have you had anything to eat today? And he's like, no. And he's like, okay, be honest, because this is important for the surgery. No, it's fine. And he's like, okay, and put the anesthesia on, and immediately vomits blood.
Anesthesia, yep, and then immediately vomits blood. And then we finally get to, after all this, it's time for the fan song for the new Dethklok video.
Yeah.
And then, like
this one goes on for a really long time, really long, like, he always, like, his head spinning around. It's very, very funny.
And then we get, I think it's like the 6th song on the Death album one, the fan song. And literally, remember, I asked you before this episode, what exactly does Dethklok think about their fans? And I'm just going to quote the first lines of this song, okay? The first lines of the fan song are, you people out there give us something more than just record sales. You give us something to hate, and we hate you, you brainless mutants.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly how their fan song starts. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? This is definitely Dethklok. That is exactly what they would do for their fans.
It's very, very funny.
As this music video is going on, and how they're, like, literally singing about how much they hate their fans, you see the brothers, the John Frew brothers, one of the ones in the wheelchair, I forget which one's which, just hits a button on his like little keyboard thing and starts recording the song.
And they both throw up the horns to each other while they listen to the song.
Yep. Right. And then of course, we go back to like Charles and all of them just like, oh, thank God this day's finally almost over. And then you see one of the fucking minions, one of the fucking clocketeers, is just like, my lords, I didn't know what to do. He had a wheelchair. And they're like, dude,
that's a free pass
dude, that doesn't give you... Yeah, I was just like, what? That doesn't give you any free passes. And then, of course, okay, which one's which? Which one's Edgar? Which one's
Eric?
Eric.
I think Eric's the one who goes on to be a recurring character. I assume, not 100%.
Yeah. Well, either way, one of them is like, yes. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to pay us so that we don't release the song.
Oh no, pay us for a good review on our website.
Or that's what it is. Yeah, or else we're gonna send out this song. And Charles is like, all right, fine, don't worry, just come with me. I'll take you to exactly where
Pickles
you need.
is like, come on, man, like, what is the internet? Like, what? And like, Nathan's like, how about we just kill you?
Yeah, right. It's just like, dude, what is the internet? Pickles looks at Charles. No, seriously, what is the internet? Even Charles shrugs at that, which is funny because the manager Charles, he's like the only smart person in the band. He's like not a fucking, and even he was just like, I don't fucking know what the internet is.
They play the song saying that we're gonna release the song if you don't give in to our demands.
and Charles is like, okay, fine. We will. I'll give in to your demands. And you see that him like going through all these elevators. And in one of the elevators, he's just like, so like, and this is like one of those awkward things where they're just standing there. So where are you guys from? And of course, one of them's like Sandusky, Ohio. He's like, oh, there's a theme park there, isn't there? Yes, there is. Oh, neat.
Yeah, that's fun.
and then you see like a long corridor with like an open door at the very end. He's like,
I was gonna say, hey Ben, how you gonna brush over that? Aren't you from Sandusky?
Don't fucking start with me, dude. That joke was funny. Like,
no, it was never funny. I know you always hated it. I know you always hated it.
No. I'm saying like that was like 5 to 10 years ago when that
literally
joke first aired.
Yeah, we did that shit to him like
more than 6 years ago. Every once in a while, when I least expect it, what does Matt do or what does Ed do? Oh, you're from Sandusky, are you? Come on, get some new material.
Whatever, man. It's cool. They have an amusement park. That's fun.
And by the way, to all of you who are newer listeners, that's always my like reaction. It's like, it's kind of like a bit, so it's like, I'm not actually upset that he keeps doing this.
Are you going to clarify for the listeners though? Are you not from Sandusky?
No, I'm not from Sandusky.
Wow, where are you from, though?
I'm from Redacted because I'm not going to dox myself on the internet. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you see the long corridor. He's like your money's way down there.
Way over there. And then as Charles goes to close the door, she's like, I'd serpentine if I were you. Closes the door quickly and just gets on the phone and says, it's showtime. Serpentine? What is he talking about? The tall brother gets his fucking head blasted by a fucking sniper. Serpentine! Serpentine! Ah! And then, of course, it just kind of ends with that.
I was like, we cut to the band in the... Oh, big old deer outside I see walking through the yard. The boys are like having coffee with Pierre, and he's like, oh, bon cafe, Pierre. And he's like, oh, thank you, my master.
Thank you, my lord.
And then we see, the brother escape, and we see the fan blimp crashing in the distance.
Yep. And because it's not Metalocalypse, if, things don't go to shit. And that is the end of Mordland.
Yeah.
So... question of the day, question of the episode. Have you ever wanted to see any band? I'm not gonna go into specifics, but have you ever wanted to live go to a band and go to a behind the scenes how they what they're like kind of thing? Or did you ever or did you just want to be like, you know what, they're a band, let them do their thing? I don't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've always wanted people should have their privacy. And yeah, I think it's always the fan stuff, the meetings and stuff is always incredibly awkward to me. I barely go to panels and stuff at cons because I don't want to meet people and talk to them about candidly about junk or see people ask them weird, annoying fan questions and stuff. I follow enough media stuff to know how annoying, pestering fans can be. I follow Star Wars podcasts and stuff, and I know how pedantic and terrible fans can be regarding that. Movies, major things like Marvel stuff, people fans. Fans are a history of being hugely problematic and annoying and fighty and all kinds of stuff like that. So I 100% get their view for the song and everything like that. So it's completely understandable.
See, me, I'm the same way. If the whole VIP thing to meet your bands and stuff like that. So it's just I kind there is a little anchoring in my hankering in my brain that says, what if you went to one of these? But at the same time, I'm sitting here I'm okay with not.
Yeah, I was gonna say the YouTuber Mr. Gigi has some like very funny stories about meeting like actors and stuff like that at like fan panel stuff, and just like how like the ridiculous pricing for autographs and junk like that. I think the only time I've ever like confronted someone who I was like actually in awe of, it wasn't even me who did it. My sister got an autograph from Stephen Bloom at a convention. And that was like huge because she's like a huge fan of his, like loves a ton of his characters. And I think the only fan autograph I ever got was the voice actress for Anna in not Anna, sorry, for Symmetra in Overwatch. I got her autograph at a con. And I know she's been in a ton of stuff. Like she's been in the like Miss Marvel series. She's been in she voices a ton of characters that we know from like Young Justice and stuff like that. She's like a huge voice actress, and I got her autograph at a con once. But that's like the most I've ever done for like fan interaction stuff.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest I've ever done was it was not like I was not a part of it because it was PAX West, like all the way in Washington. And like a long time ago, Chris went to it, and one of my favorite. Well, used to be favorite YouTubers of all the time, you know, the Game Grumps. Mm-hmm. They were there. They were there at that con, and one of Dan's favorite movies of all time is The Last Unicorn, and I just happened to have the soundtrack to it. So I'm like, hey Chris, well you're there, can you get Danny, just Danny, not Aaron, Danny, to sign this? And he did. Like I still have it on my CD case. Yeah, so I have a signed copy of The Last Unicorn album with Danny Sexbang's autograph on it. Yeah, but yeah, awesome. That's like the only thing I did. Like I have gone to like a few like famous people panels, but it's just, I mean, you know, the Q&As are just that, Q&As. Okay, question. Are you familiar on YouTube ProZD?
Yeah, I know the person.
Yeah, that guy, he was at Animarathon.
Nice.
Back in March, and his Q&A panel was, I mean, it was a Q&A panel.
Of course.
But then he had a second panel, a more fun panel, where he, like, the audience would tell him a waifu or a husbando. He would look up said character, and he would rate anyone's, waifu and husbando. And by the way, I actually got to hear what his opinions were on one of my all-time favorite anime characters of all time.
You see who it was?
That's right. He, absolutely, of course. I told him, I'm like, rate Captain Harlock.
Nice.
And it was I think it was mainly because of the scar in the eye patch. He got an 8 out of 10. I'm like, well, because of course.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, just and I may have found a wiki page that I need to look into that I'm not going to reveal because hey, we're going to be going to the last episode of this section of Metalocalypse, which means after this episode, we're going to be at the halfway point of season 1.
Yeah, wow. This is one of the fucking longest, I think.
Out of 4 seasons and a special and a movie.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the progress we've been making. So now we get to do another thing, which is what does you know, I might as well just do this. For every episode. What does Dethklok think about ... Today's topic, United States taxes.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes, that's right. Even Metalocalypse touches on with the band and taxes. In episode 10 of season 1, Fat Clock. We are on Krangor Island in New Guinea. In New Guinea. And where
nuclear waste site.
One of the nuclear waste site areas where Dethklok is there doing the ribbon cutting ceremony. And again, this is where we get one of the best lines ever. Like season 1 has a lot of best lines ever.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
where we were just like, Nathan's like, we have now declared your island the Dethklok home for wayward kitties.
Oh, we also see there's a bunch of like mutated people there, and it's an island full of
yeah, they're all like watching all this, and so after he ribbon cuts for the Dethklok home for wayward kitties, we get the most metal release the kitties. And then all the cats get to like go free, and all the cats start mauling the mutated people and murdering them.
A very gory, crazy scene.
Because again, cut to the tribunal, who is just like, well, the fiscal year is ending, and Dethklok is trying to do everything they can to get as many tax cuts as possible, because apparently they made too much money.
Yeah, and I mean, you see, like they're saying, like, okay, this could be, they're making so much money. It's very important that they do this. But who's this weird fat kid that keeps seeing him? This guy who keeps seeing being around right performances. And then
they notice that there's like, even we don't know anything about this child. And then you cut to like newscasters talking about how Dethklok has made a lot of money, maybe too much money.
Yeah, too much
and even
money.
Charles is like, well, I mean, they're right. We did it again. We made too much money. So we're going to have to do as much as we can for charities and stuff. And you see that fat kid eating a brick. He's like, what?
Oh, before that, we see them playing with the laser pointer.
Oh, right. That's right. He's like, yeah, hey. And like Nathan's like, hey, look. Points it at Murderface's eye. I'm an eye doctor. And Murderface is like, dude, do that again. Yeah. And Charles is like, can I please have the laser pointer? And Nathan's like, dude, no, wait your turn.
Yeah, Squiz the guy's like, hey, wait, no, point lasers at my eyes. Oh.
point a laser at mine 2 eyes. And then, like, Pickles is like, hey, dude, if you push your eyes really, really hard and then you open them up, you get, like, this really cool effect. Oh, that's so cool. And then poor Toki, hey, if you hold your breaths really, really long and let it go, you give yourselves a real cool blowjob. He starts doing it, and he starts getting a nosebleed and said, that's what I'm talking about. He means nosebleeds, not blowjob. Idiots. This is like, okay, no, seriously, we need to get back to this. And, okay, what is that fat kid doing there? Like, don't play dumb. You know what we did. No, I've never seen that kid in my entire life. Like, who the hell is that kid? And Nathan's like, that's the kid we adopted.
That's our son.
Yeah, that's our son. Sorry, that's our son. And Murderface is like, we adopted him for charity. And Charles is like, that's not how it works. Like, they don't be mean to our son.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, look, we need to have a really big concert in order to like give our in order for us to like not have to pay money. And Nathan's like, all right. But it's gotta have like this really big, nice laser show. It's gotta be like really super metal and stuff. And Charles is like, actually, yeah. That's the more money we spend, the more the better that our tax write-offs will be.
Yeah, the thing is the United Celebrities of the World, and they're performing with the London Philharmonic.
Yep, London Philharmonic Orchestra, and of course
pharmaceutical research.
What kind of pharmaceutical research? yeah, but anyway, but yeah, I like it because it's like, yeah, Nathan, that's a great idea, actually. The more money we spend, the more it's it. And Nathan's like, then let's have a laser motherfucking light show. I literally just said that was fine. Then let's still do it.
We cut to the practice as they're trying to testing out their instruments and everything with the Philharmonic for the Philharmonic conference. But we see the kid's called the kid Fatty Ding Dong, and he keeps causing a bunch of trouble with like breaking shit, knocking shit over all over the place.
Yeah, and then there's no, he's going pee over there. No, bad, and they're treating him like a dog. They're just literally treating him like a dog. That. No. Bad Fatty. We do that outside.
And he keeps making like pig noises whenever he does anything. It's so terrible.
Right. And then of course, he's like, wait, yeah, he's getting a little rambunctious. I think isn't this the part where they go to take him to the doctor?
Oh, and before that, he's like knocking shit over and like running around and they're chasing him. He's making like pig noises, and then Nathan like grabs him by his neck and like just like holding him in a chokehold. He's just like, no, I'm doing hug therapy. And he's like,
yeah, I'm doing hug therapy. If you do this, you'll actually calm down and maybe even fall asleep. Literally like choke holding him to the point of like passing out.
No, he like soils himself and then he's like, oh, I think he just went to the bathroom on himself. He's like, oh god. And yeah, this is when they cut to the hospital and he's like, okay, are you guys sure you want to do this? And then Nathan's like, yeah, we used to have a little
no, even better. It's just like, okay, it might be his diet what is he eating? Oh, all his favorite foods like hamburgers, donuts, all the good stuff, all the sweet stuffs and chips and stuff. He's like, well, maybe if you cut his food, like his food down or anything. He's like, and Nathan's like, no, I mean, we could just, neuter him. Because we had like a dog. He was a rambunctious little thing.
No, he was a rascally little goofball.
Yeah, right. That's right. Rascally little goofball.
All the time at work. Yeah, he was a rascally little goofball.
He's like, yeah, and then we got him neutered, and he calmed down. He's like, I don't think you need to go that far. Just start giving him a better diet. And Pickles is like, dude, what the fuck do you think we are, Nazis? No, just neuter him. And this doctor, who is a recurring character,
he's like,
he does his trademark, you know what, fine, whatever, I don't care. Then all of a sudden you see Fatty Ding Dongs just come out, and Nathan's just like, oh, hey, look who's all neutered. You are. Who's a neutered guy? And the kid is actually just still rambunctious as fuck.
Yeah, he starts running around squealing again, and then he gets tasered by Murderface, and he falls on top of Toki, and Toki's like getting tased as well. He's like,
mamma mia. And then I think we cut back to fucking before the concert, and Fatty is like chained to a fucking pole outside.
Weeks later. Yeah, weeks later. He's
weeks later. And
with flies flying around his head. It's so terrible.
Toki's just like, how comes we always has to like go and feed him? Why can't Nathan or anyone else feeds him?
I think they're
racist. Always us. Yeah, that's right. He's like, I think they're racist. It's like, yes, but such is life, Toki. Because one day
is a strange birds.
Yes, perhaps I too could learn from all this. Pours a fucking bucket of like junk food and shit. Here's a couple of hamburgers and chips. Just eat up before the concert, you fat tub of shit. We loves you. And then of course we start hearing the start of a song. I'll get to that in a moment. Mm-hmm. And we just see Dethklok standing by the fucking giant ball that is supposed to be a laser ball.
Yeah.
And the fat kid's like staring at it.
He's like poking it.
Pickles is like, that's a fun laser, isn't it, Fatty? And thus, because the song has already started as this is happening, but we get the continuation, and we get to hear probably one of my favorite songs. Well, my second favorite song in this season, Death Harmonic, because it's Dethklok with the London Philharmonic, and the first words of the song explains how I think a lot of people feel in America, at least. I want to keep my money and give away absolutely nothing to the government who operates my spending and obliterates depending on the time of the year. I'm like, yep, I agree with this song. It's literally called Death Harmonic, and it's literally just about how they don't want to pay their taxes.
Yeah, exactly. It's so ridiculous.
And then, of course, as this happens, the fat kid presses a button, and the lasers start, and the lasers are so fucking potent and powerful that they start cutting everyone up.
Yeah, they slice through the London Philharmonic and chopping them up into pieces. It's so ridiculous.
And then after this, we get back to like the little lounge area. It's like, okay, Fatty, like seriously, I get that it was, you wanted to play with the laser, and by the way, that was really fucking metal. And Nathan's just like, yeah, but I guess we thought you would use better judgment.
Yeah,
we're just disappointed in you. And then Murderface walks in and is like, he tore up my World War I boots.
Civil War shoes.
Yeah, my Civil War shoes. That's what it was. Civil War shoes. I'm gonna kill. And they have he and the fat kid have like a fucking slap face. And Pickles is like, we gotta take care of this. And Nathan is like, I think I know exactly what we need to do. We need to build a helicopter that can go into space. And Pickles is like, or I have a better idea. And you just see Fatty Ding Dongs just in some open field waving as everyone's leaving in the Hatricopter. Yeah. Goodbye, Fatty. It is where he belongs, Toki. He will probably find a better porpoise out there. And as he's the fat kid's waving goodbye to them, he starts getting mauled by a bunch of cats because apparently he's in New Guinea right now.
Yeah, of course they left him on that island with the wayward kitties. And like as they're like, you know, soaring out, we hear Nathan say, "Oh, he'll be okay. He's fat." And then the episode ends.
Yeah, he'll be okay. He's fat. And then of course we just see them flying in the hatred copter in space while you hear more of a death harmonic playing.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Dethklok, and that's the last episode of this.
Halfway through the season.
Yep. So, Matt.
Yeah.
We're gonna veer away from metal for a second. I know, crazy, right?
Wow.
Have you actually been to a concert, like a classical music concert?
A classical music concert? Nothing that I didn't perform in when I was in band in school. No.
Oh, you haven't been because the only one I can tell you that I've done was I have actually gone to a few Distant Worlds concerts.
Yeah, I was thinking Distant Worlds is coming around to Ohio again soon, isn't it?
I'll have to double check that, but
yeah,
I know.
I've always wanted to. Those sound amazing. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can tell you that a lot of the ones I went to, like the vast majority of ones that Chris and I have gone to, have been in Chicago. And we also got to go to one concert of theirs. We literally, my second time ever being on a plane in my life, because we flew to and from Boston, Massachusetts.
Nice.
Yeah, that one was a fun one as well. Oh, that was a fantastic concert as well. World premiere back in the day of that one for that one.
Nice.
But then we also went to the ever so famous Blossom Music Center for one, because they have performed that Blossom a few times. And honestly, for those of you who don't know what Distant Worlds is, that is an orchestrated Final Fantasy music concert.
Yeah, absolutely.
Conducted by the one and only Arnie Roth. And every once in a while, more so, I don't know if he does it as much anymore, but every once in a while, you will actually get an appearance of the great Nobu Uematsu attending.
Nice.
Yeah, attending. And it's kind of funny, actually, because a lot of the times when Uematsu's there, Arnie will be like, "Hey, you should, sing a song for us, right?" Uematsu will literally take the mic, and he'll get ready to sing, and then he'll just give the mic back.
No, sorry.
Sometimes he'll also whistle he's whistled the victory fair. But the best thing that he's ever done, because Uematsu is a music creator, but he also is he actually does instruments. I figured as much. But one of the songs that I really like from Final Fantasy VI, the Dark World theme.
Yeah.
Arnie plays violin, and the keyboard is played by Uematsu himself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it is. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy music, you'll have a good time. If you like classical music and don't know what the fuck Final Fantasy is, you'll have a good time.
That's a good recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to go. I would love to go to one of those concerts. Maybe one is in Ohio again, and actually think forward and reserve tickets and everything like that. I would love to go to one of those. That'd be amazing.
Hell, if you want to, we can you know what? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, this string of episodes, oh my god, so many quotable things, but not a lot of songs on the Death album. Like I said, I think the only ones there was mention of Bloodrecuted.
Yeah.
There was a little cameo of Better Metal Snake. We got the fan song. And we got fucking the second to last track on Death Album 1, which is Death Harmonic.
Death Harmonic, yeah. Yeah, these are some of the most iconic songs of the series. His first album, I think, is one of the most famous ones, I think. So
right,
these are the songs we get to hear, so really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and I'll be able to tell you what is and is not. Like I said, fucking Blood Puke. Where the fuck is Blood Puke? I want that song. I want to hear, because sometimes they talk about songs that they've done. Yeah. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, but where is that song?
Well, maybe they'll cover them someday. They still have a lot more albums, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, either way, I'm just like,
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we're at the halfway point of season 1, and so far it's just been a bunch of shenaniganery.
Yeah, it's very, very silly, but very funny. It's nice to cover like a fun episodic series because we're mostly covering pretty like story driven stuff for the most part usually. So,
I mean, every once in a while there may be a mention of it, but at the same time it's like shrug, haha, funny band stuff.
Yeah, very, very funny, goofy early aughts, the early teens, fucking funny ass, good ass animated show.
Right.
That brings us to the end of the episode. We have more coming soon. Hopefully, recording is very difficult, but that's just scheduling as an adult. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what can one do? So, but yeah, I have literally no shameless plugs, but Matt, I know definitely has a lot of plugs.
Of course. Forgotten Minotaur King, the podcast. Forgotten Minotaur King, the freaking book. Buy it on Amazon when you can. Don't forget old episodes of Movie Garbage, my other podcasts. Old episodes of Movie Garbage, my other podcast, as well as old episodes of Action Toon Bros, because we have such a long ass back catalog of episodes already.
Yeah, we do.
Listen to all of them. Freaking follow me on Twitter, Matthew Lewis Podcasts. Follow me on Patreon, YouTube. Probably where you're most likely to be finding this. I'm hopefully getting the RSS feed up recently. I completely forgot to do that, so I'll definitely got to get the RSS feed going back again. I have no idea.
Way to go, Matt.
Re-upload old episodes. There's too many episodes to list. Freaking Metalocalypse. I'm looking forward to the next couple episodes. A lot of good music. We'll do some more. We'll do some research. I'll listen to the Christopher Lee's metal bands. We'll have more stuff
absolutely. But yeah. Either way, but yeah. So far, we're halfway through, Matt.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of the show so far?
I've seen the show a dozen times. I watched the show like all in high school and shit. I love the show. It's funny as hell.
Okay. But back in high school versus now that you're an adult,
it's still very funny. I'm still loving a lot of the gags and like the everything's very funny. I love the names of stuff like the totally awesome Sweet Alabama Liquid Snake, the names like Snizzy Snaz Bullets, or freaking everything's ridiculously fun. Fatty Ding Dongs is funny. The rascally little goofball. This was like so many iconically funny moments that I just still remember from like decades later. It's a fucking great show.
Right, and they say that shows like this can't teach you anything. They taught you a lot of things, like how you can literally buy psychological validation.
Yeah, very good. The good thing to know.
Yeah, right. No, but either way, but we are nearing the 3/4 way. We're nearing the finish of season 1 at least, and I can't wait because we still have yet to get to my second favorite song of all Metalocalypse, of all Dethklok. But we'll get there when we get there.
Oh, yeah.
Until then, from us here at Action Toon Brothers Emporium, also known as Matthew Lewis Podcasts, y'all have a good night, and as always, keep it sleazy.